In today's Get Ready With Me, I'm trying new spring makeup and we'll see what's good for us over 50 gals. That's coming up next. Welcome back, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Today I'm going to be doing a full face of makeup, Get Ready With Me style, and we'll find out if there's anything in here that's good for us over 50 gals. If you're new here, I make videos like this every Tuesday and Friday, and I hope you'll consider subscribing. Make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. We have a lot more great information just waiting for you there. You can see I have a soft peach look on today. It's my favorite spring color. We'll be doing this full face step by step. We'll find out what are the winners and what are the losers. All the products featured today will be listed and linked below, and they'll also be over on the blog, so they'll be easy for you to find. If that sounds exciting to you, give this video a thumbs up and let's hop into it. I have my face all prepped with my serums and moisturizers and of course my sunscreen. I'm going to go in with the Milani eyeshadow primer. This is an old classic favorite of mine. Just a tiny bit will do both eyelids. For face primer, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Putty Primer. You guys know this is one of my favorites. I've been using the Revlon for a little while. I want to go back to this because the foundation I'm using today is newish to me, and I want to see how it acts with this primer. With this primer, I like to make sure that I get some underneath my eyes so that my concealer will sit down nicely, and then I like to press this in to have that putty primer essence to kind of fill out my pores. I have a little bit of irritation on my face today from my Retin A. I upped my percentage in my Curology subscription, and of course I didn't listen to my provider who told me to back off and be a little gentle in the beginning, but did I listen? No. So I have a little bit of redness and irritation and dryness on my skin from my misbehavior. I went ahead and filled in my brows with the Wet n Wild brow pencil. This is their retractable brow pencil. I use ash brown. I love this. For eyeshadow today, I'm going to be using the Sweet Talk palette from ColourPop. This palette is newish to me because I got it towards the end of the warm season last year and I only used it a few times, and I just love the spring colors in this palette and wanted to put a look together with it today. I'm really excited about using this. I'm going to start in with the cream color up here in the corner, and I'm going to put that all over both lids. I love the ColourPop formula. It really is so good. Now that I have that creamy color all worked over both lids, I'm going to take a crease brush and dip into this really pretty peachy color here and start defining the crease. When I work with my crease, I always leave my eyes relaxed and I start right up above the crease, because if I start inside, you're never going to see the color. So I'll just start working that above my natural crease and all the way out to where the end of my brow hits. And once I have that kind of defined in the crease area above my natural crease, then I'll lift my eyebrows and bring that color down into the area that you don't really see when my eyes are open and I'm looking straight at you. Then I'm going to pull that color right down towards the outside of my eye onto my movable lid, just to start building a little definition towards the outer corner of my eye. Now in to blend all those edges out so that it's a real smooth transition between the first color I laid down, that creamy color, and the peach color. For me, blending is so much of a good success because my skin is not taut, it's wrinkly. So blending those colors in really makes the difference to me between an eyeshadow application that doesn't look so good and one that looks a lot better. I just love the colors in this palette. It's just so pretty. Those peaches are just lovely. Now that I have that peach color all blended in, I'm going to take a smaller detail brush and tap it into this warm brown down in the bottom, and I'm going to use this to start defining the crease and the outside edge of my eye. Can you hear that? It's raining. And the rain just started. I don't know if you guys can hear it. So I'm just going to work that from the outside corner of my lid up into that crease area, and then a little above, almost about 3/4 of the way to my eyebrow. And a little bit over into the crease. And this is going to help kind of define and lift that outer corner of my eye. Now that I have that darker brown all placed, I'm going to go back in with my blending brush and just really blend it out. I'm not trying to move the color too much. I want to keep it in that area. I just want the edges to be really, really soft. Now that I have that darker brown all blended in, I'm going to go back in with my crease brush and tap it into this little bit more pigmented peach color right here. And I'm going to place that deeper into my crease just to darken that color in there a little bit. Then I'm going to go back in with my blending brush and just blend that out to really soften it up. To finish off the eye look, I'm going to go in with my SoFX highlighter palette. And I love this shade right here to put on my movable lid. So I'm just going to get a little bit on my finger and then just very gently tap a very light application of that right on my movable lid. Here are the 4 colors I used from the ColourPop palette. This is what I put all over the entire lid. Then the beginning crease color to deepen the crease color, and then this is that brown color that I used to define the outside corner of my eye. For foundation, I'm going to be using the new Wet n Wild Photo Focus in the Dewy formula. I've had this for just a few weeks and I've used it a few times. I've had mixed success with it. Some days it looks fabulous, some days it breaks up with me and I really can't figure out what the difference is. So today I'm going to be using it, of course, with the e.l.f. Putty Primer, and we'll see how it holds up. I like the packaging. It's a very sturdy bottle and it comes with this kind of little paddle applicator that actually I didn't like in the beginning, but I've kind of grown to appreciate. I just take this paddle and put some of the foundation around my face. I think it might be also a little bit light for me, but we'll just use some contour and bronzer to kind of make it work. Once I have that placed all over my face, I like to take a brush and just smooth it around. It has a very nice creamy feel on the skin. It doesn't feel drying at all. It feels very moisturizing. I like the way that it goes on in that it just blends in really nicely. I'm going to go ahead and take this down my neck because it's a little bit light. I'm trying to make everything look cohesive. Then I'm going to take my sponge and just press that foundation into my skin. I don't know that this foundation really looks dewy on my skin. It more looks like a satin finish. I'm not really seeing any dewy glow from it. It might be a little bit more matte because of the putty primer from e.l.f. So we'll kind of see sometimes when a foundation settles in, it kind of changes its sheen a little bit. I'm going to use the Pretty Vulgar Concealer to cover up the irritation marks I have from my Retin-A. I like this concealer so much because it feels like skincare. It feels so moisturizing, and the color is a little bit more of my skin tone. It's not so much a brightener color. For under eye concealer, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is their new version of the Camo Concealer. It's supposed to be a little bit more hydrating than the last Camo Concealer, which I found a little bit drying. I got this color in Fair Warm. The colors between the two, the hydrating and the regular, do not match up. So if you got one color in one, it's not going to be the same color in the other. So we'll see how this works. I have not used this at all, although I've owned it a little bit. Has a large doe foot applicator, and I'm just going to start out with a little bit and we'll see how this goes. I always like to start tapping my concealer in with my finger. Wow, this goes a long way. I might have done too much, gang. And then I'll start working that in with the sponge. Definitely is a little bit of a brightening color. It might be a little bit too yellow for me, and I can't say that it's really full coverage. I can still see my dark circles peeking through. It does look and feel more hydrating than the other formula, so I can say that for it. We'll see how it wears today. I'm going to set my under eyes with the e.l.f. HD powder. For bronzer, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Natural Glow Face Palette. I didn't realize there were so many e.l.f. products in this video. I picked this up at TJ Maxx or Marshall's or one of those recently when I went on a big trip to the city. Haven't used this before, so I'm kind of excited. I'm liking this bronzer color right here. It seems like a nice, cool neutral. I like to place the bronzer all around my face and then go back in and blend it all. I'm liking the fact that this color is really a cool toned neutral. And then just blend that all in with my big fluffy brush. That's just a really pretty bronzer color. Isn't that nice? I love the cool tone of that. For blush, I'm going to tap back and forth between these two really pretty peachy colors. I think this will look great with the eye look. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I love that. Isn't that pretty? And blend that all in. Gosh, I love that color. It's so pretty. For highlight, I'm going to go back into the SoFX palette and use that same color to highlight. I think it'll look pretty to tie that in with the color that's on my lid and on my highlight area. I like to take an angled brush, just tap it in there, and then a little bit at the tops of my cheeks, and I like a little bit in the front of my cheeks, and then I'll go a little bit above the eyebrow and then just touch the top of the eyeshadow area. Then I like to go back and blend that all in. To finish off the complexion, I'm going to go in with the Milani Prep Set and Glow. You guys know this is one of my favorite products ever. Look at this. So I'll just smooth that all around my face in just a really light application. I'm going to jump off now and do my tight lining and my mascara, and I'll be right back. My eyes are all done, and just in the amount of time it took to do my eyes, that concealer just really creased out. I tapped it out with a sponge, and now it just looks really dry and cakey. Can you guys see that? Just doesn't look that great. I can say that I don't think it covers very well, and the fact that it just really creased is kind of disappointing. The foundation is sort of okay for me. There's some areas like around my cheeks that it just looks like that little bit of polka dotty thing, so I can't say that it's a real smooth, luminous finish. Not sure if it's the primer I used or the skincare I have underneath it. I've used it with the Revlon Photo Ready primer, and it has some days looked good and some days broken up for me. So I'm not quite sure how to work with this foundation to get it to look its best. For lips today, I'm going to be using the new Coral Berry color from Revlon. This is just such a pretty peachy color. I'm going to start off with the Nude Suede Shoes from NYX in a lip liner, and we'll see how it looks. I'm going to top it with the Peach Liquid Catsuit from Wet n Wild. Oh, I think that's such a pretty lip color. Here we have the finished look. I think the eye look came out really pretty, and this Sweet Talk palette from ColourPop is one of my favorites that I own from them. The colors are just so beautiful and soft, and of course the ColourPop formula is fabulous. I love working with it. They go on like a dream. They almost blend themselves. The colors are beautiful. They don't get muddy during the day. This was a real winner for me today. The Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy Foundation, I don't know guys, I just don't think I want to continue to use this, and I'll tell you why. I don't particularly like how it's looking on my skin today. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I've got some of that dry polka dot thingy. It just doesn't give the type of look to my complexion that I really like, and it seems a little fussy. Some days it looks better than others. I do know that it has really gathered into my marionette lines and those creases down there. Granted, those creases are pretty bad right now because my skin is very dry because of my Retin-A, so that's a little bit on me. But I don't know. I've got other foundations that I like much better than this, which is curious to me because so many people have fallen in love with this foundation. I can say that I'm just not one of them. As for the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, it's a hard pass for me. If I look in the mirror right now, that concealer looks terrible. It is collecting in my fine lines and wrinkles again after I've tapped it out, I think 2 or 3 times. It's all broken up. It looks dry and cakey. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but I can definitely see it in my 10X mirror. It just doesn't look good. It actually looks pretty terrible. So unfortunately, this is not something I'm going to be using again. A real winner for me today is this Natural Glow palette from e.l.f. I love it. I love the contour color in this. I think it is so very pretty, and it just gives such a natural contour to the face without that warmness of most bronzers. It's such a beautiful color, and I think that these blush colors are a beautiful peach color. It just is so pretty on the skin. So very happy with this. This is a huge winner. I'll probably be using this in a lot of upcoming videos. The Coral Berry lipstick from Revlon, I absolutely love it, particularly with that Wet n Wild peach gloss over it. I think it's just a really pretty peach look on the lips. I want to thank you for joining me for this new spring makeup get ready with me. We had some winners and we had some losers, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. If you're new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information waiting for you there. It just tickles me when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Make it a great day. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.